Hello friends, my name is Nitin and you welcome to my channel Nitin, and today we are studying the second chapter of 7th NCERT Nutrition in Animals. I have completed the first chapter Nutrition in Plants and now we have moved on to the Nutrition in Animal. I have also made a quiz for Nutrition in Plants. Please do it. I hope everybody does it and I get many responses. So you have learned in chapter 1 that plant can prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis, but animals cannot. Animals get their food from plants either directly by eating plants or indirectly by eating animals that eat plants. Some animals eat both plants and animals. Recall that all organisms, including humans, require food for growth, repair, and functioning of the body. Animal nutrition includes nutrient requirement, mode of intake of food, and its utilization in the body. So, in this paragraph, it says that animal, animal nutrition includes nutrient requirement and mode of intake of food and its utilization. It says that animals are directly or indirectly dependent on plants and they need nutrients to growth for growth, repair and functioning of body. Hence animal nutrition includes nutrient requirement. They need all uh, they need all required nutrients for growth, repair and functioning, mode of intake of food and its utilization, and the mode of intake like the heterotrophic mode, the mode of intake and food's utilization to get the nutrients. You have studied in class 6 that food consists of many components. Try to recall and list them below. There are 6 columns and we can write anything. You can write anything. So first you can write that carbohydrates, fats, the energy giving food, proteins, the bodybuilding food, vitamins and minerals. They're useful for the immune system. And sixth one, you can write anything. You can write iodine, phosphorus, phosphate. You can write anything. So the component of food such as carbohydrate are complex substance. These complex substance cannot be utilized by as such, so they are broken into simpler substance. The breakdown of complex component of food into simpler substance is called digestion. Different ways of taking food. The mode of taking food into the body varies in different organisms. Bees and hummingbirds suck the nectars of the plant. Infants of human and many other animals feed on mother's milk. Snake like pythons swallows animal they prey upon. Some aquatic animals filter tiny food particles floating nearby and feed upon them. So it says that the food which we eat have carbohydrates, fats, and these are the complex substances. And you can see that there is a chain which is joined together, and that's why it is called complex. And then the simpler substance, it is free. All the particles are free, and hence we can absorb nutrients from the simple substances. Carbohydrate can be converted to starch, and proteins can be converted to amino acid. Fats can be converted to fatty acids, and vitamins and mineral other. So different ways of taking food. The mode of taking food into the body varies in we have read this. Activity 2.1, what is the type of food and mode of feeding on the following animal? Write down your observation in the given table. You may find the list of modes of feeding given below the table helpful. You can see snail, ant, eagle, hummingbird, lice, mosquito, butterfly, housefly. Hummingbird sucking, and butterfly also I think so sucks. Scrapping, chewing, capturing I think so eagle. And please comment down others so that everybody could read it. Amazing fact: starfish feed on animal covered of hard shell of calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is a very hard shell that covers the starfish. Now you will be thinking, how do they eat food? They just from the middle, they just throw the stomach out of their mouth and let the stomach do all the processes and take the food inside. After opening the shell, the starfish pops out its stomach through its mouth to eat the soft animal inside the shell. The stomach then goes back into the body and the food is slowly digested. You can see this is the human digestive system. You can see there's the buccal cavity, salivary gland. The food enters here, then the esophagus, then it enters the stomach, liver and pancreas secrete bile juice and pancreatic juice. Bile juice is stored in gallbladder. Then it goes to the small intestine. Small intestine have small villi-like structures which increase the surface area and makes and takes all the nutrient, absorb all the nutrients, and then the food enters the large intestine. Here the you can see the thin like structure here. It is called the uh, appendix. It stores the good bacteria that we need for our digestion. Then the large intestine takes all the excess water and the fibers, and it comes out through rectum and anus. Let's move on. Digestion in human. We take in food through mouth and digest and utilize it. The unused part of the food are defected. Have you ever wondered what happens to the food inside the body? The food passes through a continuous canal which begins at the buccal cavity and ends at the anus. And this canal is called the alimentary canal, or you can call it the digestive tract. The canal can be divided into various compartments: the buccal cavity, food pipe or esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, ending in the rectum and the anus. Rectum is the path from the large intestine to the anus. Anus is the tip. It is not very long path. These parts together form an alimentary canal or digestive tract. The food components gradually gets digested as food travels through the various compartments. The inner walls of the stomach and the small intestine and various glands associated with the canal such as salivary gland, the liver and pancreas secrete digestive juices, and the digestive juices are convert complex substance of food into the simple ones. So I can just tell you all the digestive things now only, but let's read if I miss something out, so it will be covered. There are many processes. The process starts from the ingestion, then it goes the digestion, then it goes the assimilation, then absorption, and then excretion. substance of food into simpler ones. The digestive tract and the associated glands together constitute the digestive system. Now let us know about what happens to the food inside different parts of digestive tract. The mouth and buccal cavity. The food is taken into the body through the mouth. The process of taking food into the mouth is called the body is called ingestion. Let's read this. Milk, teeth, and permanent teeth. We all know what are milk teeth and permanent teeth. We get the milk teeth when we are small, like a baby, and they fall out as we grew up. Then we get the permanent teeth. They are very strong than the milk teeth, and they are permanent for our life. Do you remember about falling off your teeth some years ago? The first set of teeth grow during infancy. Infancy means the when we are the babies, and they fall off at the age between 6 to 8 years. These are termed milk teeth. The second set of that replaces them are the permanent teeth. The permanent teeth may last throughout life or fall off during old age or due to some dental disease. Bojo is fascinated by the highly coiled small intestine seen in figure 2.2. He wants to know its length. Would you like to make a wild guess? We have given it approximate length on page 16. Just imagine how such a long structure is accommodated in the small space within the body. Just the small intestine here is very coiled. You can see it is uh, it is everywhere in the stomach, and it's very long also. I remember the length of the large intestine. It was, I think, so 1.5 meters. No, 1.5 meters. I think so 1.5 meters. And the small intestine, I think so 7.5. We will check it. The body is called ingestion. So we read this and the bubble type. Now we come on we chew the food. The ingestion process, when we take the food inside our mouth, we chew the food with the teeth and break it down mechanically into small pieces. Each tooth is rotted in a separate socket in the gums. Our teeth vary in appearance and perform different function accordingly. They are given different names. Like you can see the incisors in our front, the canines at the beside of the incisors. There are four canines, eight incisors, eight premolars, and 12 molars. Molars are the strongest. Incisors help in cutting down the food. Canine help in tearing the food. Premolar and molar help in grinding and chewing the food. You see, when we eat non-veg, we just cut it from our canines and incisors. We take a bite. I'm sorry for those who are vegetarians. We chew the food with the teeth and break it down mechanically into small pieces. Each tooth is rotted in a separate socket. We have read this. Activity 2.2. Wash your hands. Look into the mirror and count your teeth. Use your index finger to feel the teeth. How many kinds of teeth could you find out? Take an apple or bread and eat it. Which teeth you use for biting and cutting, and and which ones are for piercing and tearing. Also find out ones that are used for chewing and grinding. Record your observations in table 2.2. You can see the cutting and biting are for lower jaws and upper jaws are incisors. Piercing and tearing are canines, and chewing and grinding are premolars and molars. We have 8 incisors, 4 canines, and 8 premolars and 12 molars. Our mouth has the salivary gland which secretes saliva. Do you know what saliva have? Saliva is a slimy substance which is secreted under our tongue. There is a salivary gland which secretes this saliva. This saliva has a saliva amylase which help to digest starch, or we can say carbohydrates. The digestion process starts from the mouth only. You were thinking that it goes into a stomach and then it starts. No, saliva have a amylase which digests or makes the carbohydrate complex substance to simpler substance, for example starch, which secretes saliva. Do you know the action of saliva on food? Let us find out. Take two tubes, label them A and B. Into one, put 1 teaspoon of boiled rice in the test tube. B. Keep 1 teaspoon of boiled rice after chewing it for 3 to 5 minutes. You can see that the boiled and chewed rice with iodine test would be there that it doesn't have starch, because our saliva have digested the starch, and the boiled rice only it will become purplish because it has starch. So this test says that saliva, the digestion starts at our mouth. Why there why is there a change in color in the test tube? Discuss the result with your classmates and your teacher. The saliva breaks down the starch into sugars. It breaks down the starch into sugars. The tongue is fleshy muscular organ attached at the back to the floor of buccal cavity. It is a free at the front and can be moved in all directions. Do you know the function of the tongue? We use our tongue for talking. Besides, it mixes saliva with the food during chewing and helps in swallowing food. We also taste food with our tongue. It has taste buds that detect different tastes of food. We can find out position of taste bud by the following activity. Prepare a separate sample of sugar solution, common salt solution, lemon juice, juice of crushed neem, leaf of bitter gourd. Blindfold one of your teammates and ask her or him to take out tongue and keep it straight and flat position. Use clean toothpick to put above samples one by one on different areas of tongue. Use a new toothpick for each sample. Ask classmates which areas of the tongue could detect sweet, salt, sour, bitter substances. 5. Now write down your observation and label figure 2.6. Repeat this activity. So by this it tells that the tongue helps in mixing the saliva with the food and swallowing the food. Tongue is a fleshy muscular organ which is attached to the back of the buccal cavity. So there's a blue box, sweets and tooth decay. Normally bacteria are present in our mouth, but they are not harmful to us. However, if we do not clean our teeth and mouth every after eating, many harmful bacteria also begin to live and grow in it. The bacteria break down the sugar present from the leftover food and release acids. So when we eat the food, the starch becomes sugar, and some sugar left down on the tooth, the bacteria feed on it, and leave they spray some acid. See chapter 5 to know what is an acid is. Acid is an substance which have an acidic nature, and these are very harmful to us. The acids gradually damage the teeth. This is called tooth decay. If it is not treated in time, it causes severe toothache and in extreme cases result in tooth loss. Chocolate, sweets, soft drinks and other sugar products are the major culprit of tooth decay. Therefore, one should clean the teeth with brush or datun and dental floss, a special strong thread which is moved between our two teeth to take out the trapped food particles at least twice a day, and rinse our mouth every meal. Also, one should not put dirty fingers or unwashed object in the mouth. Sometimes when you eat in a hurry, talk or laugh while eating, you may cough, get hiccups or a choking sensation. This happens when food particles enter the windpipe. The windpipe carries our air from the nostrils to the lungs. It runs adjacent to the food pipe. It just beside the food pipe. Yeah, if it is shown here, I could show you. You can see the pharynx. This part under the salivary glands, you can see the long thing coming out. This is called the pharynx, and it is connected to the trachea. Trachea is the main windpipe, and where were we? Yes. But inside the throat, air and food shares a common passage. Then, how is food prevented from the during the act of swallowing? A flap-like valve closes the passage of the windpipe and guides the food into the food pipe. If by chance food particles enter windpipe, we feel choked, get hiccups, or cough. And you know what the flap-like structure is called? The flap-like structure is called the epiglottis. This is a flap-like structure on the trachea. When we need to breathe, it opens. When the food comes, it just shuts. Now, write down your observation and label this period, the food pipe and also esophagus. So we completed the mouth. Now we move on the food pipe or esophagus. The swallowed food passes into the food pipe or esophagus. Look at figure 2.2. The food pipe runs along the neck and the chest. The food is pushed down by movement of wall in food pipe. Actually, the movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal and pushes the food downwards. You could see that if you are hanging on the tree upside down and eating an apple, the food doesn't come out of your mouth, it goes straight to your stomach, because there's no motion of gravity doesn't help in eating, but it is said to we do not eat anything upside down, but the food pipe muscular muscular movement just takes the food to the stomach. At times, the food is not accepted by our stomach and is vomited out. Recall the instance when you vomited after eating and think of the reason for it. Like we eat something raw or something where that tasted very bitter, we just vomit it out. So then we move to the stomach. The stomach is a thick walled bag. Its shape is like a flattened J. Some books says it's a J. Some book says it's a U. You can connect it to U and J only because there's a structure like U and a J, and it is widest part of the alimentary canal. This is the widest part of the alimentary canal. It receives food from the food pipe at one end and opens into the small intestine at the other. The inner lining of stomach secretes mucus. The inner lining, you can see that the dotted area, this is the inner lining of the stomach. It secretes mucus because many acids, strong acids, are in our stomach, and mucus protects the inner wall from the uh, hydrochloric acid. Mucus, hydrochloric acid, and digestive juices. The mucus protects the lining of the stomach. The acid kills many bacteria that enter along with the food that makes the medium in the stomach acidic and helps in digestive and juice to act. The digestive juice break down the protein into simpler substance. The simpler substance of protein are amino acid. So the hydrochloric acid and the pancreatic juice break. The hydrochloric acid kills the germ. The pancreatic juice breaks down proteins and fats into amino acid and fatty acid. They both have a different enzyme which you will learn in class 10th. So, oh, the small intestine. Oh, I was correct. It was 7.5 meters. You know how much is 7.5 meter? It's the length of a room. It's very long and it's fit in our stomach. It fits in our body. You could see that it's very coiled. Look, see that this area, this coiled thing which is very coiled, it is 7.5 meter long, a length of a large room. I couldn't imagine that. If we added all the humans small intestine and make a line, it would be how much long? It would be very long, I could say. Where were we? Okay, intestine. intestine is highly coiled and is about 7.5 meter long. It receives secretion from the liver and pancreas. Beside its wall, also secretes juices. The liver is a reddish brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen. Abdomen. On the right side, it is the largest gland in the body. The liver is the largest gland in our body. And it secretes bile juice that is stored in a sac-like structure called the gallbladder. The bile juice plays an important role in the digestion of fats. Fats turns into fatty acid, as I told. Pancreas, pancreas is a large cream-colored gland located just below the stomach. The pancreatic juice acts on carbohydrates, fats, and proteins and changes them to simpler form. The working of stomach was discovered by a strange accident in 1822. A man named Alex S.T. Martin was badly hit by a shotgun. The bullet had seriously damaged the chest wall and made a hole in the stomach. He was brought to an American army doctor, William Beaumont. You could see the hole. He tried, and he took the opportunity to see what's inside the stomach. The doctor saved the patient, but he could not close the hole properly and left it bandaged. Beaumont Lowe took it as a great opportunity to see the inside of stomach through the hole. He made some wonderful observation. Beaumont found that stomach was churning food. Its world secreted a fluid which could digest the food, and he also observed that end of the stomach opens into the intestine. Only after the digestion of food inside the stomach is completed. The partially digested food now reaches the lower part of the small intestine where the internal juice intestinal juice completes the digestion of all components of the food. The carbohydrates gets broken into simple sugar such as glucose. Now then glucose is then converted to glycogen by the liver. The extra glucose is converted to glycogen by the liver. Fats into fatty acids and glycerol, proteins into amino acid, as I told you. Absorption in the small intestine. The digested food can now pass into the blood vessels in the wall of intestine. The process is called absorption. The inner wall of a small intestine have thousands of finger-like outgrowths. These are called villi, singular villus. Villi is in plural and singular is villus. Can you guess what the role of the villi could be in the intestine? Villi increase the surface area for the absorption of the digested food. Each villus has a network of thin and small blood cells close to its surface. The surface of villi absorbs digested food material. The absorbed substances are transported via the blood cells to the organs to body where they are used to build complex structures as the proteins required for the body. This is called assimilation. The transportation of the food through the blood vessels are called the assimilation. In the cell, glucose breaks down with the help of the oxygen into carbon dioxide and water, and energy is released. The food that remains undigested and unabsorbed enter the large intestine. Then the large intestine is the wider and shorter than the small intestine. It is about 1.5 meter. As I was correct about the small intestine length and large intestine length too. In the length, its function is to absorb water and some salt from the undigested food material. The remaining waste passes through rectum and remains there as semi-solid feces and facial material matter is removed through the anus from the time to time. This is called digestion. And you can see the chapter is coming to end, but the video is very long today. It is 35-minute videos. I hope you learned from this video. In this video I covered all the digestive system of the human, and I want you all to do the nutrition in plants quiz, and I hope I get as many as responses as I can. And we will continue digestion in grass eating animals and digestion feeding and digestion in amoeba in the next video. Till then, take care and goodbye, and don't forget to share, comment and subscribe the video. I have my second channel too, NITIN SINGH Gaming and Technology. Please go and subscribe that channel too. For now, take care and goodbye.